Monday evening thing. I'm here again. Remember, you guys are my co-YouTubers, and I'm here to welcome you once more to as my co-YouTubers. In other words, you guys are there to cheer me on. So I hope you do that while I do this video. I was late for 4th of July, but I'm here to wish you guys a happy belated 4th of July. I hope you had one of those happy moments because there was a lot of, unfortunately, there was a lot of incidents happening over the 4th of July weekend. I'm happy for the ones, those of you that had a happy 4th of July. You did the fireworks peacefully. You had the barbecue and all that was involved for 4th of July. You remember the most important part, which was the independence of our country. On that day, 4th of July, was when America was granted its independence. And I hope you guys remember that because that's history, especially for you younger ones. That's history for you. So I hope you utilize every aspect of the 4th of July weekend. The fun, the history, the fun, the entertainment, whatever comes after that. I hope you had a beautiful one. And I pray also for the families who unfortunately did not have a good one. Because, for instance, there was a case in Atlanta where an 8-year-old was killed. An 8-year-old girl was killed. I can imagine what the parents are going through. So I'm just asking that God will comfort their hearts, knowing that He is a comforter. There was also another little girl in Chicago that got killed over the weekend. Saints, we have to rise up and do better to take care of our young ones. Those are the future. Those are the future for our country, saints. We can't be killing each other. Help us to love, Lord. I'm just asking God to help us to love more instead of hate. Get rid of the division among us, Lord, among the saints. We have to choose to get rid of the division and look to God. Look to Him. Because if you look to Jesus, you can never go wrong. He will provide all the love. Because if He didn't love us, He wouldn't die on Calvary. He didn't have to do it. But He did it because of that agape love. So saints, remember, after this, remember to exercise that same agape love Jesus Christ exercised on the cross. Oh, okay, let me move on. My co-YouTubers, I'm moving on. I'm moving on up. Yes, my topic today is that God will open up the floodgates of heaven and pour you out a blessing. There are times when things seem wrong, not going right, things seem impossible, but nothing is impossible to God. So whatever is going on in your life, there come a time when God can open up the heavens and pour you out not only one, but many blessings. As usual saints, I'll begin by reading a scripture. My scripture today is taken from Malachi chapter 3, verse 10. And it says, Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, said the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough for you to receive it. So saints, this is saying to us, whenever we take care of God's house, I know, a lot of people sometimes, they're not, I know it's not real with education, because he said in another scripture that my people will perish for lack of knowledge. And if we don't understand this, then, we don't want to do it. But if you take care of God's house, you go in there, you sow your tithes and offering into the house, even when things seem, like it's not going the right way. Even right now, during this pandemic, a lot of us are going through financial difficulties. But we have to remember to make the sacrifice, a sacrificial offering. You send it to your local church. You can't go wrong when you sow your tithes and offerings, because God honors that. And He said His word. It's a challenge, He's saying there. He said if you do that and the house is full, He will then open up the floodgates of heaven and pour you out not one blessing, as I said before, but many blessings, saints. And God is a God of His word. His word can never go back void. Right in Malachi 3, chapter 10, right here, it can never go back void. This is all what the Lord is saying. That is a promise that He's made. If you do what He says He's to do, He will do it for you. If you do His will, He will do your will. So, saints, I remember remember, I'm just giving you a testimony. I remember when I was living in New York City. Um, I was a single mother, you know, with not enough income in the household. So I was there not knowing what to do. But it so happened that God sent an angel. He will send people. People come as angels. And he sent this man to me and said to me, because he knew that, as a matter of fact, it was my previous landlord. And he knew I had financial difficulties. So what he did, he came to me and he said to me, why don't you apply for Section 8? Section 8 is a housing, situation where single mothers and single parents are people who really can't afford to pay a lot of rent. That will help them. It's a subsidy. In other words, it's a subsidy that will help you to pay your rent. So he came and told me about it, and I said to him, how would I get that? Because I knew at that time that the Section 8 program was on freeze. So he said to me, you don't have to worry. I will tell you where to go and who to contact. And he did. He was a man of his word. And he came and he sent me to that place. And when he sent me to that place, they asked me certain questions. I was able to answer them. They gave me an application. I filled it up and give it to them. And I got a good reply back. I was granted the subsidy, saying, yeah, when nobody else could have gotten it. Nobody could have gotten it because it was on freeze. When something goes on freeze, that means no one have access to it. But saying Jesus had access to it. So he sent his angel to lead me to the right place. When I got it, a lot of people were so amazed. They were saying, oh, will you get that? And it's on freeze. But they didn't know that I serve a God who, no matter how much your credit could be wrapped up, jacked up, shacked up, God will bless you regardless. He will open up the heavens and pour you out a blessing depending on the circumstances. He will pour you out many blessings if he needs to. So saints, Jesus Christ is your source. No matter what is frozen, no matter what is you don't have access to, Jesus will give you access to it. And saints, I was so happy. And I was able to keep that subsidy for a while until I became a home owner. God bless me. God opened up the windows of heaven and poured me out a blessing that I really needed. And that time I was sowing into the house of the Lord. So God rewarded me with that. He could do the same for you, saints. He's the same God yesterday, today, and forevermore. So saints, remember, sow into your local church, your tithes and offerings. You can never go wrong with giving. God will open up the heavens and pour you out many blessings depending on your circumstances. Saints, I leave you with those words. And remember, you are my co-YouTubers. So don't forget to turn on your post notifications, like my video, and subscribe as well. I love you guys. I'll speak to you later. Bye.